And I don't mean it disrespectfully when I say they just don't beat Jaron Ennis. In fact, that style is absolutely tailor-made for Boots.
Do you feel like Boots belongs on the top pound for pound right now?
Not yet. I don't think so. Not right now. I just, like you said, we have so many people right now, and
well, because Vergil loves fighting tough guys. He doesn't run from anybody. He doesn't shy away from the tough matches. So,
and my dad's like, "Hey, they're probably gonna announce it like within the next few days." I'm like, "Oh fuck, and then it didn't happen.
It's the fight that all boxer fans want. Vergil Ortiz Jr. and Jaron Boots Ennis are two primetime killers who have never lost a fight.
You can try and downplay it, but I don't give a fuck. Jaron Boots Ennis is the best fighter in boxing today. I keep saying about Vergil, I respect those guys. I love Robert Garcia. The same thing will happen to Vergil Ortiz. It might take a few rounds longer, but he will absolutely slice him up.
Why is this fight stuck in a nightmare of claims, denials, and stories that don't match up? The war of words has turned into a bloody battle where both sides say the other is scared. But the story gets trickier as you look into it more. Now we know who is really trying to hide and who is finally being caught.
Who's your dream fight? Who do you see yourself having a mega fight with in your career that's gonna, transcend you to the next level?
Any of the champions, Vergil Ortiz, it's a super fight. Any of the champions at 154. I'm here to make my mark, and it's starting this Saturday. For me, my legacy is to be, collect them belts, be multiple weight division champion, undisputed at 54 if possible, and keep doing it at each and every weight class, 154, 60, and maybe 68. That's my goal, and to fight these top guys. And it's gonna happen, one by one, we're gonna bring them.
This time, Oscar de la Hoya fired the shots. At the last news conference before Vergil Ortiz's dangerous fight with Erickson Lubin, the promoter for Golden Boy threw down the gauntlet in front of everyone. He wasn't just giving his fighter free stuff. He told Boots Ennis and his manager Eddie Hearn that he would be sitting ringside because he was giving them a direct message.
If you go back to, if you rewind a bit, you remember when Boots Ennis fought and Eddie was like, let's fight Vergil now, and they were on TV on camera saying this and that, and then right after they were off camera, it's like nothing happened. We were calling out Boots Ennis and they didn't want to do it. They wanted a tune-up fight, this and that. I understand all that. As a fighter, yes, you want tune-up fights, but come on, how many tune-up fights do you need?
De La Hoya says that their being there isn't a danger, it's an error. He told them that they would back out of the fight once they saw what Vergil did in person.
Vergil Ortiz is ready at 154, and I'm glad, like I said, Boots Ennis is coming down to watch this fight. I'm actually really glad he is. But then again, I am afraid that Boots Ennis is gonna see Vergil and he's gonna tell Eddie, I don't want Vergil next. Let me have another tune-up fight.
De La Hoya didn't stop there, though. In a shocking new twist, he changed the story by making a claim that changes who is really holding up the story. Oscar said that the big fight was almost set in stone. He says that the deal was almost done, but Boots' team reportedly put the brakes on it at the last minute. The reason why they needed a practice fight all of a sudden.
Look, first the fight was gonna get made, then Boots needed a tune-up fight and another tune-up fight, I believe. Vergil's always been ready. He's always been there waiting for whoever. That's who Vergil is. No, he doesn't shy away from any challenge. And the fact that they're gonna come down to see Vergil Ortiz, it tells you everything. He's a superstar. Everybody wants to watch him. Even Eddie Hearn from the UK wants to fly down, and Boots Ennis from Philadelphia wants to see it front row in person and be in awe.
That's a claim that makes it sound like Ennis, not Ortiz, wasn't ready to sign. But this isn't the first time that public charges have thrown this fight off track. We need to go back in time to 2024, when things were completely different. Bozy, Boots Ennis's father and teacher, was the first person to go public. Bozy said that an offer had been sent to Ortiz's team, and that team had flatly turned it down.
Just to make it clear on Vergil Ortiz, we sat in a room, me, Oscar de la Hoya, Eric Gomez, and the top DAZN execs in America. We talked about how a deal would work with those two fighters, and we agreed on a deal. We went away, we signed a new deal with Boots. Part of that deal within the contract was the deal that we agreed with Golden Boy and DAZN to fight Vergil Ortiz. Boots signed it. Now, we didn't hear anything back. We told them we're going to fight in October. They said they're going to fight in November. And we haven't heard anything back.
The story was easy at the time. Vergil Ortiz was pulling his boots up.
On Tuesday, Eric Gomez called me and he said, look, I just wanted to let you know we're fighting Lubin. After that, we want to get the boots fight made. I said, well, we're in. So I take their word for it, and I truly believe Oscar De La Hoya wants to make great fights. But that fight is done on our side, on all the terms that we agreed with Golden Boy. That fight for me, although it doesn't carry an official world championship, which is what we want at 54, is one of the best fights in boxing.
The answer from Golden Boy came right away and was very harsh. On social media, Oscar De La Hoya shot down the claim with just one word. He said that soon everyone would know who really doesn't want to fight.
But genuinely, you do feel he's a very skilled fighter.
Oh, yes. Yeah, maybe top 15 for sure.
Right.
Maybe not top 10.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
So let's get into that then. How true is that there was a real offer made to Boots,
Yeah.
and he turned it down? And could you talk about like what was offered to him?
When I went to Riyadh the first time in November, and I met up with Turkey, I went to his his compound, his farm or whatever it was, and they said that more than likely I was going to fight Boots soon. I was like, oh shit, okay, we're finally doing this. You know, Oscar was there and everyone was there, and I'm just like, okay, cool.
At 154, obviously.
Yeah, because I can't move down.
Vergil Ortiz Jr. had to step in and stop it. He told everyone that this was the first time he had heard of it and declared, I didn't turn anything down. This led to a deadlock, a clear case of he said, she said. That made fans wonder who was telling the truth.
So when Turkey and those guys said that you were going to fight Boots, was there a number thrown out?
There was no number. There was no number at all. The only thing that I knew was that, okay, this is a real possibility now. Like, Then I think the next week, I was at home and my dad's like, hey, Dirk probably gonna announce it. And like within the next few days, I'm like, oh fuck, we're fighting. All right, so I'm like getting mentally prepared and all this shit. And then it didn't happen. That's when I got word that he turned it down. But no, I'm not gonna say he turned it down. That's just what I heard, you know, because I don't like being on the other end.
What Vergil said next, though, changed everything about the talks. Ortiz didn't fight for a long time, and many people thought that his tune-up fights were a way for him to escape big fights. From his point of view, Vergil finally cleared things up. He wasn't away for a strategy review or a duck. He was fighting an illness that could have killed him. Ortiz said he had rhabdomyolysis, a serious illness that could damage not only his jaw but also his life. This wasn't a fighter trying to avoid a fight. The man was just trying to get better.
As far as the negotiation, I'm not a manager, right? So I don't take part in any of that. All I know is that we can start from the beginning. 147, you know, we're both upcoming prospects or whatever. Fight doesn't happen. I always felt like it was gonna happen at 154 anyways. All right, I move up to 154, past rhabdomyolysis. I had to get in a couple of tune-up fights because I just came back from a life-threatening illness. And we really wanted to make sure that I was even still okay to fight because that's how bad it was. So I got those fights out of the way. Then we fight Bohachuk, then we fight Majimov. Jaron Ennis got a world title at 147 or a couple of them, I think. Good for him. He has a lot of momentum going his way. You know, if I had that much momentum, I would have went straight to the big fight at 154. If I'm being honest, I'm just that kind of guy, I guess. But when it was time to say yes to fight, I was the only one that said yes. So now you have a lot of people that were saying that I was ducking at 147 when there was no fight to be offered or anything like that. The only times that the fight has ever been offered to either of us, I have said yes. So when people are saying ducking, when they align that word with me, I'm not talking about if they want to align it with him, they should. I don't care about that. But they want to align it with me, then they can't say that because I said yes.
That's when Vergil Ortiz Jr. unleashed his own devastating counterpunch. He talked about the timing straight on in a recent interview. Then he dropped the news. He talked about his recovery and the tune-up fights he needed to get his body back in shape. Ortiz said that I was the only one who said yes when he was finally fit, when the healing process was over. and it was time to sign the contract. This one claim changes the whole story.
Vergil, we know that Eddie Hearn and Jaron Boots Ennis are going to be ringside at your fight on Saturday. And as you know, you've been in talks with these guys for a while now, pretty much all this year, some of last year, and the fight still hasn't been made. Do you think it's finally going to happen next? And what are you going to show them at ringside?
We'll see. You know, I've already said yes. I mean, that's all I can do, right? So we'll see. We'll see. It's really not up to me, I guess.
And from your standpoint then, what is the biggest barrier to this fight happening? Why hasn't it happened yet? Because like you said, you've said yes, so.
I mean, I don't know. I don't, there's really nothing else that I can do at this point, right? So the barrier, it's somewhere on their side. So it's whether it's someone, something, or some amount of money, I don't know. That's completely on them.
Vergil is adamant that he was ready to go when the moment of truth came, which suggests that Ennis's side was the one that finally shut up. What does Boots do in this very important game of promotions?
There's no one in the 154-pound division is going to touch it. If you look at the finish and the combinations, the hand speed's blistering, the power is frightening. Lima was like, you know, and it was just, I just wanted a statement, and that was a statement of all statements. But we got to prove it with the resume. He's 28 years old. He's 10 years younger than Terence Crawford. We haven't even touched the surface yet. This is the most special fighter I've ever worked with by a mile, and we are just getting started. I can't wait for him to be in these fights. I can't wait to duke it out with Oscar and Vergil Ortiz. Oscar tweeted and said, there's only one fighter, Vergil Ortiz, in 154. Then make the fight. If you truly believe you can beat Jaron Ennis, make the fight. Talk about Tom and Jerry, talk about all this kind of stuff. He's a defensive genius, but he'll also come in and take you to pieces and knock you spark out.
It's a huge power move for Ennis and Eddie Hearn to say they will be watching the fight between Ortiz and Lobban. It's a scary statement that stays quiet. They are actually going to Vergil's garden to watch him. Without a doubt, this shows that they are not scared, they are not stalling, and they are going for the win.
I think that when you look at U.S. fights, Vergil against Boots is in the top 3. 2 in their prime American fighters, black fighter versus a Mexican fighter, Northeast fighter versus a Texas-based fighter. You got all the elements for a great super fight. It was disappointing that we didn't get it at 147. I think if Vergil beats Lubin and looks impressive, it's going to be even bigger at 154. I think that's a Vegas fight. It's a pay-per-view fight. I think that's one of the marquee fights of 2026 if Vergil can get.
In the end, we have 2 of the best fighters in the world who have never lost. There are 2 very different stories about 2 of the biggest marketers in the sport.
How far can Boots go? Can he be pound for pound one of the top fighters in the world, 1, 2, or 3 at some point?
Yeah, definitely. I think he's already around there. Like, you know, he's looking to crack that top 10.
Right.
You know, with the right win, I think he'll get in there.
Right. How do you feel about him going up to 154 and maybe people want to see him and Vergil Ortiz?
I think that's the fight. I mean, you win that fight, you definitely in the top 10 to me.
Right.
You know,
for sure.
That's a young champion, a young killer just like you. That's what makes good fights. Young, hungry fighters.
Right.
That's when you know there's going to be a fight, you know?
Do you think De La Hoya's threats are just a way to get his rival to give in? Is Vergil's timeline, which is based on his major health scare, the only true one? Or is Boots' quiet presence at the table the best proof of who is really after whom?
Right.
They fighting for legacy. They fighting for that. They want that big bag. They want to be a champion. They want all that stuff. So that fight right there is probably would be like a fight of the year type fight.
Who wins?
I think Boots beats him just because Vergil he can fight, but I think he's going to be in front of him. He's going to be in front of Boots, and that's his style. Right. His tailor-made style.
The taller, longer fighter with the better defense should be favored, absolutely. And that's Boots, right? Because generally, that guy wins those fights. But it's a different thing than actually going out and beating Vergil Ortiz and doing it in style. If he
especially
fights,
in that type of manner.
Who should be the favorite in that fight, Shady?
I'm going with Boots.
Favorite?
Yeah.
He should be the betting favorite.
Yes.
I think this is a genuine coin flip fight. I really do. And I think we have to remember that Vergil Ortiz has fought the much, much better competition.
That's true.
He beat Israel Madrimov, very quality win. Madrimov gave Crawford all he could handle.
This fight happens and Boots wins a close, tough fight. Then he is at least what we think.
One side says they needed some work. They say that I was the only one who said yes. There is only one thing that is certain. This war will not be ended through interviews, press statements, or stares at the ring. Inside that 17 by 7 foot ring is where the real truth will be shown.
Boots doesn't want to fight Vergil. Boots is not going to fight Vergil next. You know, whatever they say, oh, there's a signed contract already. That's all. You know, there's Boots is not going to fight. You know, Boots is not going to fight Vergil next. You know, he's going to show up. You know, why didn't they call us up and invite us to his fight 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago? Whenever he just fought recently. You know, you come to ours, we go to yours. We know we promote the fight. That would have been the perfect idea to do. But you know, they want to show up. You know, and they are going to show up. That doesn't make a difference. You know, Vergil's going to do his job. But you know, that's just kind of like trying to get the media, the press to believe that they're ready for the fight. I know they're not. I know they already have a date where they already have, you know, a possible opponent already. So it's all part of the show, part of promoting the event, part of promoting his fighter, and Eddie's doing a great job doing it.
That's all for today's show. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click that bell icon if you liked it so you don't miss our next movie. And don't forget to leave a comment with your ideas. We'll see you in the next show, so stay tuned.